guys, I'm so sorry it's been a minute. There's been so many unexpected problems with the Mazda that I've been having, and I'm pretty sure I'm this close to getting it. Here, let me set this down real quick. I gotta make a sandwich. Basically, a lot went wrong. That last video or the last update on the Mazda, when we put the motor in, I actually had to take the motor back out. I realized that when I put my torque converter on, I only clicked it down twice onto the motor, and it's supposed to go in 3 times, or my bad, through the transmission. So I had it all put back together, and I was so excited to drive it. Yeah, it just wouldn't crank at all. So Joe came over and helped me out with that. He told me what to do, and basically I did all of that. I took it back off, put the torque converter in right, and then after all that was done, put it back together, and it wouldn't even crank. And I'm like, okay, this is just getting annoying. So then what I did was I found out the shifter linkage wasn't really seated right, because both bolts that hold it in place, the bracket, snapped off in the transmission housing. So I drilled those out, retapped them, but they weren't perfect. So now whenever it's in park, it's not reading that it's in park. It's just a hair off. So I unplugged that and just kind of moved it manually back to park just so I could get it started for the meantime, and it started cranking. It cranked over, turns over really healthy, and let's just take a minute to appreciate this sandwich. Ooh. Ooh. But it turns over really healthy and everything sounds good, but it wasn't catching. So you could crank it all day, but it just wouldn't catch. So I got into looking at all sorts of things. I've been messing with it for like the past couple weeks. And I finally found out that the crankshaft position sensor was causing it not to get spark. So I'm like, that's odd. I read up about it a little bit, and I'm actually using the 2.3 crankshaft sensor on the 2.5 crankshaft. And they have different teeth on them. So what it's doing is it's not really reading the teeth right. It's not sending a spark to the ignition coils. Therefore, my car isn't starting. So what I just did was, sorry I'm talking a lot, but I'm pretty excited. I just swapped out my crankshaft pulley with the 2.3 crankshaft pulley, and now I'm just going through and making sure it's timed right. So I have to adjust the crankshaft pulley in a certain rotation because it doesn't lock in just one place. It's just kind of, you can just slide it on, rotate it, you know. You have to lock it down in one position, and then I have to set that to top dead center, what the position is supposed to be at, and then hopefully it will start. So Joe's coming over in a little bit, and we're gonna try and knock this out, and hopefully we can get a first startup in today. Alright, so I just finished retiming the motor. As you can see, if you guys, I don't know if any of you people have the Duratec 2.3s, but on these, top dead center is when it's super easy. It's when these 2 little slots in there, I don't know if you can see that, hold up. There's 2 little slots in each end of the camshaft, and it's when they're perfectly level with this, with the, just parallel with them. And you can do that by either, you can buy a tool for it, or like slide a piece of paper or a piece of metal in there, and then just make sure it's really, really nice and tight. And then if you do that correctly and your cam timing is right, then you put a screwdriver or something down here just so it touches the number 1 cylinder, so like this. And then either way you turn the crankshaft, it should go down, because this should be the highest point that it's at. And for me, it is the highest point, so that's awesome. So this is all good, no need to worry about that. Everything's tight with my timing chain, so that's all good. And what I just did here was, you can see, where's that flashlight? This is my 2.5 harmonic balancer. And this is the part that I did not swap out, but I found out that was my issue. So as you can see, all these teeth on here, there's one empty space right there. And that's the same with this one, but there's also a gap, I don't know if you can see that, on those two. So this one is a little bit different. So the crankshaft positioning sensor right there wasn't reading it correctly. So on this one you can see that it only took me a couple minutes to really retime it, but you can see that if you're timing this on a the newer Mazda 6s, so 2005 to 2007, they should have the same harmonic balancer. And what you do is there's an open space. This is really hard to do with one person, but well, there's an open space up. Nah, we'll just take my word for it. There's an open gap right around here. And you go from the first tooth, after that gap, you go 5 over, and that should line up perfectly with your positioning sensor. And then this hole on the bottom here should line up right in the middle of that hole. And you can see some shop put a timing mark on there, but that's not exact. So then that should be perfect. And then what you want to do just to test it is you give it 2 full rotations, so 720 degrees around, and it should line up in the same exact spot, and that way you can tell your motor is timed. So now that that's all done, I'm really excited. I think I'm just going to throw it together and see if it starts. Hopefully it does, and if it does, I just need to throw it back together, and basically I got to replace that caliper because that one's all fucked up, all kinds of fucked up, and that's all brake fluid because the piston broke on it. So I got to replace that one. And this side is all done brake wise, and then the car should be good to go. Oh, another little update. I got new taillights. What else? I have a triple gauge cluster right now because, yeah, you guys can guess what's going on in the future. But I got a wideband, an oil temp, and then a boost gauge, even though I already have one, but I might just use one for something else, I don't know. And I also have a Speed 6 cluster now, so that's super nice. I really like the look of those, way better. And, oh look, I got racing seats, and then I have Tanaka 4-point harnesses. So that's all good. Everything in here is good. I did basic tune-up stuff, so I got a new air filter. All the suspension is redone. Yeah, it should just be good to go. So I'm going to throw it back together, and then I'll get back with you guys. What if it doesn't start?
It will.
Ready?
Uh-huh. It does.
It sounds like shit, but it runs. Oh my god. Holy shit. Was it like, did it sound more towards the top?
It sounded like it was coming from somewhere right here.
From this?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? It's probably because I just filled it with power steering fluid. When you do that, you know how like your car like whines? Or it could be? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I've never put power steering fluid in my car.
Sometimes if it's like low, and you like turn your wheel, you can hear it like... You ever like turn your wheel and hear that? It's like...
No.
You know, like that.
No, my power steering's good.
It could be that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. But it runs! Oh my god. What the fuck? That's crazy. Wow.
Whoa. I just kind of fell back.
So it runs, but there's some noise either coming from the power steering pulley pump, or it's somewhere around here. I hope it's not the crankshaft pulley or the harmonic balancer, because that would kind of suck. But it runs and it idles just fine. So I think today I'm going to put that rear caliper on from that car, and then hopefully I can get it back down on the ground. And I still have to find a place to mount this knock sensor, because this one doesn't have the right, or you can't really get to it. So I'll figure that out. But yeah, other than that, we can drop it back down on the ground. And I'm trying to think of what else I need to do. I think that's it mechanically. So yeah, then all we have to do is just throw the rims on, wire in the taillights, finish wiring the gauges, and probably just wrap the car. So I'm excited. So I'm super happy after like maybe half a year of doing this, not half a year, like 2 or 3 months of working on this car, that the motor swap is finally done. It runs, everything's good. I just got to work out all the bugs now, and just do regular maintenance and make sure everything is running properly. But I'm super excited. That's what I want to get done today. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to stay tuned, because I actually did pick up something really, really rare for this car, and they just shipped out the other day, so they should be here. I don't want to say soon, because it's shipped out from Japan. So I'm super excited to get those in, and stay tuned if you want to see what it is. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.